All right, guys, so I have a cautionary segment to do here for you. So, as we all know, MAGA is absolutely obliterating this country. Every decision they're making is making everything worse. At this point, I don't even think that's controversial to say. I think we're on the brink of some massive, severe recession or depression. We know they have concentration camps and they have ICE Gestapo thugs that are committing crimes on a daily basis. We have the Epstein files. We have Trump's crypto bullshit and all of his corruption. We have the endless wars overseas and bombing all these different countries. I mean, it really is a horror show. The list is endless. War on the social safety net. So people are losing their health care and the prices are going to skyrocket for your premiums because of the Obamacare subsidies that are being cut. You guys are familiar with all of this stuff, right? And so in the wake of that, everybody feels the same way I do, which is like, look, literally the worst Democrat in the country is better than the best Republican in the country at this point, so we just need Democrats to get elected. And I think everybody's fair. It's fair to believe that. It's fair to think that. It's fair to feel that way because it's true. Even your worst Democrat in the world, like Joe Manchin, I mean, it's literally the case because I covered this in the past. He voted exactly 50% of the time with Republicans and 50% with Democrats. That's the worst Democrat in the country, right? I guess maybe you could argue Fetterman is worse now. We'll save that debate for another day. But bottom line is the worst Democrat is better than the best Republican. Period. So we got to fucking get these Republicans out of office. However, you need to understand that this is a ripe environment for absolute charlatans and frauds to run as Democrats and then get in there and represent the same old bullshit, which led to this Republican takeover. Okay? That's the important part, is that if we get the wrong kind of Democrats, these centrist Democrats in power, these corporate Democrats, well, their weakness and fecklessness led to the rise of MAGA and the right. And so I got a great example of this here. So there's this Democrat by the name of Isaiah Martin, who's now running for Congress. And I saw a little snippet of a debate with him, and I was like, okay, he seems pretty good. And then he released this ad. Now, let me play this ad for you, because this ad is actually awesome. But hold your horses, because I'm going to explain a lot more in just a minute. So listen to his ad. This is what he says.
Quick lesson. This is a spine. A lot of politicians can't find theirs right now when we need it most.
But they're sort of giving up.
That's why I'm running for Congress. I'm Isaiah Martin. I'll fight Trump's never-ending corruption and the lower costs for all Houstonians. As Congresswoman Jackson Lee's senior advisor, she taught me how to fight. So yeah, I do have a spine, and I'll use it to stand up to Trump. I'm Isaiah Martin, and I approve this message. It's time we all show a little spine.
All right, so I love the ad. This is like an ad that I would run if I was running for Congress. It's a great ad. It's a phenomenal ad. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, maybe I'll cover this. Maybe I'll cover this and say, like, fuck yeah, this is the way forward. Now, then I realized I stumbled across something which said, first of all, Isaiah Martin is lying about being a senior advisor to Sheila Jackson Lee. It's a lie. People who are actual senior advisors to Sheila Jackson Lee came out and said, this is not true. And you're sort of like, we're proud that we were senior advisors to Sheila Jackson Lee, and it's like stolen valor for you to say you had that. You weren't that. He was like an unpaid intern, if that, right? And so that's point number one. Now, that's strike one, and you look at that, you go, okay, sort of shady, but is it like, okay, fuck this guy from now until forever after seeing that? Not necessarily. Let me give you some more. This guy says, genocidal maniac running the Zoomer Dem grift. So, from Jewish Insider, youngest House Democratic recruits speak out for Israel. The pro-Israel trio wrote a letter to Biden, quote, we stand behind your forceful condemnation of Hamas and your unwavering commitment to defending our ally Israel. So here is Isaiah Martin is one of these Democrats. More, conditioning aid to Israel is not something that should be up for discussion. As Hamas continues to hold hundreds of hostages after 10/7, the focus must be on securing their release. We must ensure they are removed from power to bring us closer to a two-state solution. I fully support the president's efforts to provide safeguarded aid to civilians in Gaza. The number one obstacle in the way of peace is Hamas. Conditional Israel aid doesn't help by any means. All right, but I'm still not done. Israel has terrorists constantly shooting missiles at them to stop them from hitting people. The U.S. helps Israel block these missiles with amazing technology. It's marvelous. Some in the Senate want to end funding for this, and I disagree. Helping Israel's defense saves so many lives. Iran's regime just launched missiles at Israel, proving again why they must never get a nuclear weapon. This unstable regime threatens peace and society. So Iran threatens peace, not Israel, according to him. This unstable regime threatens peace and society. To keep the world safe, the United States must stand with Israel as they defend against this unchecked evil and hatred. More. Now remember, Israel launched an offensive attack against Iran. That's what happened. Anything Iran did was a retaliation. Israel launched it, but he's blaming Iran. More. U.S. pressure must remain on Hamas, who continue to hold Americans, Israelis, and other hostages. They are the root of this. There will never be peace until Hamas is removed. As they've said they want to do more terror attacks, we must ensure Israel has the tools to end this threat. In other words, arm Israel more. Today marks 6 months since Hamas's murderous rampage in Israel. 1,200 people, grandmas coming to the door with their hands up, folks burned alive in their cars, babies snoring in their cribs were brutally slaughtered. We will never forget. Hamas and their vicious ideology of hatred for both Israelis and Palestinians must be removed from power to bring peace. So today we recommit ourselves to ending Hamas's reign and to never rest until every one of the hostages they still hold is brought back home. This guy, he said nothing about the genocide. He said nothing about the hundreds of thousands of innocent people killed by Israel. He said nothing about the starvation campaign, the malnutrition, the starvation, the deaths from hunger that have happened, the bombings of schools and hospitals, the bombings of World Central Kitchen workers and humanitarian tents. Nothing about any of that. It's all pro-Israel, 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 pro-Israel. I'm still not done though. Ready? Look at this. So somebody replied to him when he launched that ad, and they say, "Why were you at a Greg Abbott event?" Here he is, Greg Abbott, the traitor, fascist Republican governor Hot Wheels of Texas, smiling and laughing with Greg Abbott as Greg Abbott puts his hand around him. "I would like to thank the students of the University of Houston for coming along this journey with me. While I am disappointed with the results, I am thankful for the opportunity to introduce myself to the student body. A year ago, when I thought of the idea of creating FTS, I never could have imagined it could have grown as big as it did. I'll never forget the laughs, friendships, memories, long hours, and great times I had while being a part of this campaign. Thank you all for impacting my life and making my dream of creating a moment on campus come true. I'll always be here. You know that." And it's a picture of him with Greg Abbott, chuckling, giggling, laughing, having a good time, shooting the shit. This guy's a fucking, as I said, he's a fascist traitor. That's what he is. He doesn't even abide by Supreme Court decisions. There was one over the border where the Supreme Court said the federal government controls the border, so Biden gets to make the decisions. No, he sent Texas National Guard down there. He sent Texas National Guard down to the border and had them put up like barbed wire buoys and shit. This is who he's pictured with. So what's my point in doing this segment? My point is very simple. Guys, we need to be smart. We need to be vigilant. And we need to realize who's a fraud and who's the real deal. Because a lot of people are going to be sounding like me and sounding like you and saying the right things. But their history and their track record matters. It matters. And as somebody's this diehard pro-Israel, in the year of our Lord, 2025, nah, bro, you ain't it. If you got pictures snuggled up to Republican governors, you ain't it. And so he's mouthing all the right things. Oh, we got to have a spine. We got to do this. We got to do a spine for what? A spine to fight for Benjamin Netanyahu more? Is that what you want? A spine to snuggle up to Republicans? Is that what you want? No, we can do better than this. We can do better than this. Okay, so just be vigilant, care about people's track record, and I think if you look a little beneath the surface, you'll be able to find out very quickly who's the real deal and who's full of shit. But I think the thing that pissed me off the most is this guy's not coming as advertised. It'd be one thing if he just ran a standard Democratic ad, right? Like he's no different from other corporate Democrats, in which case, at least you're being honest about what kind of Democrat you are. But don't you dare fucking go out there and pretend like you're me. Don't you dare go out there and pretend like you're some fucking Democratic socialist or Justice Democrat. And then there's pictures of you canoodling with fucking Governor Hot Wheels. And every tweet you have on Israel-Palestine is fucking horrible. Which probably begs the question, what, are you taking money from AIPAC? Is the Israel lobby snuggling up to you when you fucking fell for it? So, hard pass on this one. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.